Red Bull drops a bombshell on Gasly's future aspirations. If there is one driver we are looking forward to seeing how his future will transpire, that has to be Pierre Gasly. Although he has been linked with several teams, it seems like his signature will be present on an Alpine contract sheet, and multiple sources are reporting that the only thing that AlphaTauri waits for is a confirmation out of the FIA regarding Colton Herta's points in the super license. Although the team initially said that Gasly was under contract with AlphaTauri until the end of the 2023 season, it seems like they are willing to let go of the young driver if they get the attractive driver in Herta in return. That's why Red Bull talked about Gasly's future more in depth and revealed details about his future with the team, and if you want to find out what they said, stick around with us until the end of this video. Pierre Gasly is a driver that has been part of Red Bull for almost 10 years, and he received a small piece of driving time in 2019 with the senior team of Red Bull. However, those 13 races weren't enough, as he struggled a lot to prove his pace and wasn't able to keep up with Verstappen's tempo. That is why he was quickly subbed back to Toro Rosso, now known as AlphaTauri, and replaced by Alex Albon, who was then driving for the Red Bull's sister company. Since then, Gasly has been on a mission to prove his worth and to have a bigger say in his knowledge of driving. That is why Gasly has been able to score some decent results in 2020 and 2021 with AlphaTauri, scoring his maiden win in 2020 in Monza and being the driver that brought most of the points in AlphaTauri's P7 and P6 finishes in 2020 and 2021 respectively. However, 2022 has brought some dark light upon the team, and they aren't able to perform nearly as well as they performed in the back. Gasly is constantly bad in the qualifying sessions, and we've seen him exiting in Q1 multiple times because he wasn't able to score more decent times. What's even more painful for him is that Yuki Tsunoda has been able to outperform Gasly on multiple occasions, both in qualifying and on race day, and that is why Helmut Marko said that Gasly isn't as strong as we are used to seeing from him, adding, "Yes, we have a good relationship. As a team leader, he has been very successful at AlphaTauri in recent years, but Yuki is already at his level in terms of lap speed. In the race, things are not going as well as in prior seasons for Gasly. Nevertheless, we improved Gasly's contract financially, even though we didn't have to do that. Perez's contract prevents a move for Gasly to Red Bull Racing in 2023. From 2024, Gasly is free," said Marko, also adding, "Gasly was lapped by Max in Hungary in 2019. He's certainly more solid, he has a lot more confidence, but to what extent he could hold his own against a Verstappen, it's hard to say," finished Marko. Yes, it's true that Gasly was very decent in 2020 and 2021, and on multiple occasions he was able to outperform Albon and Perez in less decent machinery. However, it seems like the team is now willing to part ways with the Frenchman, as they are eager to sign Herta. According to them, the deal with Herta is already a done deal. It's just up to the FIA to tell the team if Herta will be granted the super license, because Herta does not have enough amount of points in the license. Speaking of that, Marko said, "We have a valid contract for 2023, but in the meantime, there are talks. If our conditions are met, we wouldn't stand in Gasly's way. It would be a dream come true for him to drive in a French factory team, but not all of the conditions have been met yet." Marko also spoke about Herta's signing, initially saying that they just thought about signing him since he is a great talent, but afterward it became evident that Herta is very much a wanted asset from Red Bull's side. "We've already thought about that, but we don't want to announce that yet. We have some people in the junior squad who have a super license. For the reserve driver, we would recruit someone from that." Speaking of Herta, Marko said, "He has already done a Formula 1 test. He was good. I don't want to get into details. Let's wait and see how this develops," finished Marko. The only issue that Colton Herta has is that he doesn't have enough points in his super license. That means that the FIA needs to call upon force majeure in order to grant Herta his super license, and multiple team bosses aren't happy that this is taking place at all. Nevertheless, if F1 wants to continue its growth in the USA, signing a driver like Herta will surely push them in that way. We've seen the implementation of 2 new races, one in 2022 in Miami and one set to debut in 2023 in Vegas, which is a night circuit. Having a USA-based driver to race there will mean that not only the sport, but the team that the driver will race under will have a vast amount of support from the USA fans. When Horner spoke about Herta, he said that he is currently the only name that comes to his mind when it comes to Gasly's replacement, as he added, "I think he is an exciting talent. He's a younger American guy that's been a standout talent in the US, so it'll be very interesting to see how he performs in F1. And F1 is growing in popularity in the US market at the moment, and to have a successful US driver could be very interesting. It could be interesting for us in the longer term. I mean, we've got contracts with our existing drivers, but AlphaTauri or Toro Rosso, they've produced a great stable of drivers for us to draw upon, whether it be Sebastian or Max or Daniel over the years. I think Pierre is doing a good job within AlphaTauri. So I don't think there will be a desire to change if there wasn't an interesting option available," said Horner. However, he also said that the clarification regarding the super license needs to come as soon as possible from the FIA so that the team will know where it stands. "I think it's an FIA issue. We just need clarity for what is the situation regarding driver points, which hopefully will come sooner rather than later, because that plays a key role, obviously, in the driver merry-go-round. Obviously, in terms of clarification on points for a driver looking to come into F1, you've got to know that you've got options, and if that option isn't there, then the other triggers are not going to come into play," finished Horner. This has come upon a huge backlash from team bosses across the sport, as they've been more than eager to share their lack of approval for the FIA's action to support Herta's license and to grant him an exception. From my point of view, it has nothing to do with force majeure, because you have championships everywhere in the world where you were able to score points. If the FIA wants to stop the process of the points and the super license, it's another story. But they can do it, and it's up to them to decide if they want to stop the system, and we can survive without the system. But nothing for me to do with force majeure, said Vasseur, the team principal of Alfa Romeo. His thoughts were shared by Gunther Steiner, the principal of Haas, who added, "We have got rules and regulations which we need to respect. If we don't respect our own rules and try to find ways around them, I don't think that's correct. I mean, we could then apply that to other things as well. I'm one of those who says if you've got rules, if we don't respect them and just try to find ways around that, why we have rules, then we need to change the rules, and that is a different discussion. If you want to change the rule, let's speak about it. But again, there's a governance in place," finished Steiner. What's even more important is that their thoughts were shared by the F1 CEO, Stefano Domenicali, who said that it's a matter of the FIA to solve this issue, but he does not support granting a super license the way that everybody is expecting them to. The sport needs to respect the rules, and of course, American drivers or other drivers are very important. If he is eligible to come in F1 because he has the points, it's fantastic news. But there is a ladder to follow, there is a protocol to respect, and that is the situation. So it's really what I believe is right to do, said Domenicali, who also talked about the calls for a change to the points weighting for the IndyCar series, adding, "I don't think it's right to change something retrospectively. I think it's the right thing to do to apply the rules. And if there is some point to be discussed, if there is a need to update the rules, there is the right forum on which everyone can bring ideas or points for discussion. But today, the rule is that one should be respected. That's my opinion," finished Domenicali. What do you think will happen next with Colton Herta's deal with AlphaTauri? Let us know in the comments below.